Rhythm building bricks are a system for composing music used in Orff showwork that allow even very young students to create original musical ideas using graphic notation. Gunhild Kateman, who was Carl Orff's collaborator in developing the showwork, first described the building bricks in the 1974 book Elementaria, and they are a central part of Orff Level 1 training. The building bricks are a great fit for elementary music because using them invites students to extend two areas of learning that they are often focused on in elementary school: the development of vocabulary and constructing things out of blocks. Here's how it works. Let's say you are teaching a song or a poem about birds in music class, or maybe the students are learning about birds in one of their other subject areas. You can identify different types of birds according to the rhythm of their species names and then organize them into interesting patterns that are fun to say and equally fun to clap. To introduce a project like this, I typically would choose the first couple of birds myself. So let's go with two that we often see at my school in Southern California: crow and hummingbird. Crow has one syllable and hummingbird has three. So if I was to create a fun-to-say rhythm, I might choose crow, crow, hummingbird, crow. A different way of doing this might be hummingbird, crow, hummingbird, crow. Now, if I put these two bird phrases together in, say, an A, pattern, it might sound like this: crow, crow, hummingbird, crow, 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 hummingbird, crow, hummingbird, crow, hummingbird, crow, 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 hummingbird, crow. To put this in musical terms, we can say that the rhythm of the word crow is equal to ta, technically ta rest, and hummingbird translates to ti-ti-ta. This process works equally well if your school uses a different set of syllables such as do and do-day. Kateman's goal in developing the building bricks was to introduce the concept of rhythm to children in its most elemental form. Kateman concluded that this would be a single measure of 2/4 time. A single beat would not be enough because there's no possibility of a pattern, which is central to understanding rhythm. There are other possibilities out there, but the 5 bricks in 2/4 time that Kateman came up with are these. You do not have to be a trained musician to see that these tas and titis, or do's and do-days, correspond to quarter notes and eighth notes. But in the show work, we are far more interested in students' creative explorations than we are in developing notational literacy. So typically the next step in the process is to go back to the topic of birds and ask the students, how many species can you name? The next step would be to organize these birds according to their corresponding building bricks, like so. You'll notice right away that there is some nuance to this. For example, woodpecker and hummingbird both have 3 syllables, but different rhythms. From here, you would have the students compose bird raps using 4 or 8 of the bricks. Often, these can be presented as a rondo. That's a form of music where a number of different musical passages alternate with a main musical theme. In our example, the main theme might be the original piece of material you began with. It's performed as the A, and the individual group compositions would be B, C, D, E, and so on. Students can say their composition: blue jay, turkey, vulture, kingfisher, duck. They can play them, or they can say them and play them. Blue jay, turkey, vulture, kingfisher, duck. This approach to teaching rhythm can be adapted to any set of vocabulary words: kinds of insects, names of the states, sports, elements on the periodic chart, ingredients for making cookies. It depends entirely on what your students are interested in or what they are already learning about. And this activity can be extended to different ideas about keeping time, such as triple meter. And when the students are ready, note heads and pitches can be added to turn their rhythmic compositions into melodic ones. Meanwhile, the kids are learning about the fundamentals of rhythm and the beat in the best possible way, in the service of their own creative explorations. I hope you found this video useful. Good luck using the building bricks in your own classroom.